Greetings, and welcome to another edition of Scape Shots. Magebit here. DX will also be joining me in 1 second as I get everything set up here. We have a decent show for you today, as always. We'll point out the giveaway on screen, brought to you by ANS Digital Trading. We're giving away Outlast and the DLC, the Whistleblower DLC. If you'd like to enter, you can simply enable Streamlabs if you haven't already done so, and then click on the little Streamlabs icon that will pop up on your stream, and feel free to enter the giveaway. This is giveaway number 1. We'll be giving away another giveaway on Sunday when we do our Skill and Chill. You can win 30 days of RuneScape membership. This is all happening at twitch.tv/Magebit. So if you're interested in getting and taking part in these giveaways, all you have to do is tune in live to the show on Twitch. We're going to be covering the month ahead and more. If you have questions for the show or you want to submit content to the show, please join our Discord at discord.runeweek.com. You can also email us at show@runeweek.com. You can find us in-game in clan chat Kill, Skill, and Chill. That's clan.runeweek.com for our rankings. Love to have you. Alright, we're going to get into our first ever live edition of Scape Shots. What is Scape Shots? If you haven't heard of Scape Shot before, it's just a little bit of Runescape Weekly to help you get you through the week. Just a shot here and there. Between an hour and 2 hours of content for you, opposed to our normal 3 to 5 hour shows that we had been doing back when RuneScape was a little more robust in their release content. But nevertheless, still have plenty of awesome stuff to talk about today. The month ahead is going to be really exciting. Let me go ahead and unmute myself in Discord here, and we'll bring DX into the fold. Greetings, my friend. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you going?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm super excited to get rid of this stupid-ass squeaky chair tonight and replace it with a brand new. Got a really nice deal at Staples. It was like there was I think a $300 office chair on sale for like $160.
Oh man!
So I snagged it, and
you get all the damn bargains.
I guess Staples is, you know, they're doing their best to stay in business, and yeah, I mean they really they were really good as far as their pricing went, so it was worth it. Chair is comfortable. The chair is rated for up to 10 hours of sitting at a time. From my lazy ass. Thank you, JetRead82 for the follow, by the way. Anyway,
I was gonna buy a big ass chair from Costco, but I didn't have membership at the time. But now I do have membership. Now I'm saving up some money. I'm gonna probably go out and buy that damn chair because it looked really comfortable, man. It looked like one of those really old style office chairs, which looks really comfortable, and you sit in it and it really is comfortable.
Yeah.
Oh man.
The chair I got has this really interesting like hexagonal like mesh cushioning in the back, and it gently and it gently wraps around the sides of your body as well. Like it's large enough though that you could sit cross-legged if you wanted to. Like I'll show it off once I get it. I'm very excited though because the chair that I'm currently sitting in is about 20 years old. I picked it up from a thrift store, and it was previously.
Oh, quick! Someone sing that Macklemore song right now.
I think I actually got it for about $20 as well. It was formerly a teacher's chair. It had been in a professor's chair at a local college for quite some time, and the college just emptied all of their old chairs to buy new ones. And I was like, yeah, I'll snag one of these. It was still comfortable a few years ago when I bought it, but it wore down real quick considering it already had 20 years of use on it. But I'm very excited to no longer have to sit in this abomination of a chair. I made the mistake of trying to buy into like the race chair fad And
Oh, you mean like the DX Racer chairs and stuff?
yeah, I bought one of those and I hated it, so I got rid of it.
Really?
It's
It
so uncomfortable.
didn't work out for you?
So
Oh,
uncomfortable. It was like,
oh, damn.
it felt like I was gonna be launched out of the chair at any moment. Like I was just leaning forward and like I feel like I'd fall out of the chair. Like I feel like I needed a seatbelt. Which, to be fair, it is a freaking racing car chair, so like maybe they should come with seatbelts. I don't know. I hated it. So
you would have also hoping for a steering wheel and an accelerator and a brake and a gear changer as well.
I would love just if I've always wanted a setup like that, but not for like a race car. I want an airplane setup. You know, I want like all the rudder pedals and the joystick and all the throttle controls and all that stuff. Like, I love that stuff. Anyway, how you doing, Elite? Welcome to the show. I'm actually going to be popping open the documents that we're going to be talking about today. I can give a quick rundown. We have the month ahead. We're going to talk a little bit about Dimension of the Dam. We're going to talk about Customer Service Week. We had an interview with Mod Emma and Krista.
And we also have Sudwood.
Hello.
Welcome, Sudwood. Glad you made it. How you doing?
Pretty good. Sorry I'm a couple minutes late.
That's no problem.
Car thing ran longer than it was supposed to.
How'd that go? You get that all set, though?
Yeah, I finally have new tires, so my front tires aren't flattened.
That's good. Flat tires are no fun. I mean, you get a little more traction in the winter when they're low on air, but yeah, you know, it's probably not for the best. Not good for the car, I assume.
No.
Let's see here. Jagex balance.
This is from Dxthelb Mage. F this homework. Get a jet car chair bed.
Just blast off to the freaking moon in your sleep. And I will be just quickly watching over here.
And apart from what I've been doing lately, I've been live streaming like crazy, man. I'm having a ball being able to do this now.
Yeah, I am. Quick plug for Dxthelb. He's been streaming like a hero, doing tons of clue scrolls. He did a little bossing too the other night, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I went after Krill Sutzeroth. I wanted to see how I went. I've done it before, but never a live stream. I was given some hints and stuff like that from David, who does the PVM perspective, and you know, I seem to have gotten the kills a lot better, but the time of the kills wasn't. I don't think it was as fast as what I had when I was panicking.
That's understandable. It's the adrenaline. Just blame it on the adrenaline.
Are Champas any good in RS3? Because I know that's how you do it.
They certainly can be. Yeah, it depends on the boss. I'm not.
No, I meant for Krill.
Oh yeah. See, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not cool enough to know these things.
You're using Chimchompas on Krill?
Yeah, no, Krill was that Zammy or Armadillo? Sorry.
Krill is
Zamorak.
Okay,
yeah.
Never mind. I meant Armadillo.
Fair enough. The last time I used Chimchampas was at Rots with when you're fighting Carol, I think is when I was using mechanical Chimchampas. Yeah. Well, I survived because David was there.
Oh,
can you tell?
So
how
basically,
often
you
I've
mooched
done
off
God
him.
Wars?
You probably have done it more than I have. To this day, how long has God War, like just RuneScape 3 specifically? How long has God Wars been around? And I think I have
2007.
I think I have
2007. Yes.
I think I have like under 1,500 Gradar kills. Let's find out here.
Mage, with your gear, you could literally just stand there and he'd be unable to kill you.
I know. Yeah, I have 1,383 Grador kills in the past like decade of that boss existing.
In the past decade.
If you went there with the bone necklace and the bone crusher and just stood there with Revolution, I don't think he could kill you.
You're right.
Oh,
no, you're right. It's completely AFK at this point. It's just I have no reason to do it. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
Totally forgot to announce that we are live on social media, so I'm gonna do that real quick.
That might help.
Yeah, it can. I will briefly touch upon my in-game gains. I'm still working on rune crafting. I'm doing about 3 hours of rune crafting a day, and I've started mixing that with fletching, which I found to also be fairly. It's not really profitable, but it's like marginally profitable enough that you stay in the black. And
what are you fletching?
Magic shield bows.
Ah, that would do it.
Yeah. So
I was gonna say if you're doing bolts or arrows, you're losing money.
Yeah, if you do the shield bows, I assume because of invention, it's like 50 GP profit per. Like, it's not a lot of profit, but it's not negative, so like it's something I can do while I'm working, basically, because there's a good minute in between that. And
I like the fact that you're working on fletching, even though it's going to be a free-to-play skill during this month, I believe.
Yeah, I thought about that, and I got nervous because
It is?
yeah, it's going free-to-play. Fletching.
Wow.
Up until and then I was like, oh, is that gonna make it not money anymore? And then I was thinking, like, I don't think that they're gonna allow them to craft
Well,
magic,
considering magical
weapons?
logs are
Yeah.
not free-to-play items.
Yeah. Well, they're also
No, I think
expanding
only up to you logs is non-members. I think only up to you.
They're also expanding the members area, so I got a little nervous. I wasn't sure what was happening exactly. I'm sorry, they're expanding the free-to-play area rather. But yeah, I was like, oh crap, I hope they can't craft magic, because if that's the case, then those things are gonna go through the floor as far as their value is concerned. But then I'm pretty sure that my fear is completely unwarranted, because
I'll take all that stuff to the disassembler that I got in Invention Batch 2, that one of those machines, and just disassemble them that way.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. I thought maybe that's why they were profitable, because I don't. Correct me if I'm wrong, but fletching didn't used to be profitable, like, in any way, shape, or form, unless I'm completely wrong.
It used to be.
I thought
it used to be back in the day. Yeah.
If you bought your own logs, I could have sworn it was a loss, like always. But if I'm wrong,
I think it was
then
like
cool.
Pre-GE days, I think.
I'm just talking about like normal times, like post-GE,
right.
like in the past 10 years. I could have sworn fletching was a loss because of magic, but I guess I'm wrong. I thought maybe invention changed that, but if I'm completely wrong, that's fine.
I think the whole dropping thousands of magic logs from bosses changed that.
That might also have changed it. It's been profit.
That's
if,
a good
if you
point.
don't
Imagine
high
how
out.
we didn't think of that until just now.
Deathstar is saying it's been profit if you didn't high out. So that's good to know. Like I'm glad to know that, because I've been looking for something that right now I'm trying to build money up so I can afford 120 Herblore, which will be my next probably big buyable that I'm going to do after prayer, which I think I'm going to probably finish up prayer probably next bonus XP weekend. If not, I will finish up the remainder of it just like at regular XP. And then I'm going to probably move on to Herblore, which is going to be I think that actually costs like 1 billion gold to get 120 Herblore. It might even be more.
I can't wait for you to do a 120 construction mage.
I'm waiting for a
120
construction
Dungeoneering.
I'm waiting
All
for
the
a
broken
construction rework.
fingers.
I will not touch construction until they rework the skill. It's garbage to train. 120 Dungeoneering will also probably happen in the next couple of
10
years.
years. In the next 5 years, the way that JX plugged the next 5 years, the Runefest.
It just seems like Dungeoneering specifically, it brings me no joy. And I figure like I could just do it here and there in between other 120s. It's like maybe for every 120 I have to get a 1 Dungeoneering level, then I would be done in only like 4 120s, which is still like that's like 2 years worth of work depending on the 120s
Mitch,
I
just
choose.
put all of your stars on Dunge.
I've thought about that, but the amount of Dunge XP per hour, it's such a waste. You use up like 1 million bonus XP in like fucking 2 hours, pardon my language. So it's like that's why I've never bothered putting bonus XP into it, because it's if you are not putting your bonus XP into a buyable, you're wasting your money. Like basically, I used to dump my bonus XP into whatever skill I was trying to do, and then Sarah was like, "You're an idiot," and I was like, "You know what?
Yeah, you should put it all in the Herblore.
Well, I've been putting it all into prayer, because that's also fairly expensive, and I want that cape more. I was looking at the master capes.
Prayer cape is amazing.
I was looking at master capes by rarity, and runecrafting's number 2. Number 1 is the Master Quest cape, which technically not a skill mastery cape, but whatever. It's still a master cape of some sort, so I guess it gets to be on the list. But barring the Master Quest cape, the runecrafting master cape is the rarest cape in the game.
You can just sit at Runespan forever.
Runespan's like 70k XP an hour, dude.
So you can sit there forever and it doesn't cost you anything.
But that's why nobody has it, because it would take you 2 years to AFK Runespan to 120. That's why nobody does it. I mean, some people do it, but not many.
Option 1 divination.
Yeah, there are people like me. But the other thing is runecrafting has the potential of making like 5 million an hour.
That's true.
So it's like if you sit in the runespan and waste that profit when you are a skiller, you're a hypocrite. You're a total hypocrite. And I started to find myself using the runespan a little too much. And that's kind of why I started doing fletching. It's like I refuse when I have AFK time, when I can't focus on the game because I have to work or do whatever or do a show or something, that the best option for me is to actually use a different skill because I'm burning that money that I should be getting from runecrafting. So runecrafting is going to be slower. You know, I'm probably not going to... It's going to take me probably about a year to get 120 runecrafting, but I'll come out with 2 billion gold opposed to, like, you know, 800 mil. So I'm okay with that as a skiller. I mean, if I miraculously decide to become like a hybrid player again where I do combat regularly and I can make money, then maybe I'll change that, but I need the money. Otherwise, how am I supposed to afford all the other pretty Bibles?
Right now, Mage is dancing in the GE for money at Barrack, so...
That's my life. You know me.
So, Mage, I just read an article that I think you'll be happy to know.
Okay.
So, the next Batman movie after that ninja anime is Gotham by Gaslight.
That sounds cool.
1889 steampunk Batman.
That sounds pretty cool. All right, just do you have any information as to like how Batman got to that century, or is that not currently being revealed?
No, it's an alternate universe comic. Alternate history.
It's like
comic.
a Doctor Who crossover or something.
I can suspend disbelief, but like, you know, what the hell is Batman doing? Like, that's not when he's from. That's not when he's from. Anyway, I love any sort of like non-canon alt universe stuff. It's all fun. It's all fun in games to me. Anyway, allow us to get into our first topic here. We have the month ahead for good old RuneScape here. This is October. As far as the content goes, people again are being really negative, saying Jagex dropping the ball again. Nothing news coming out this month. Quite the contrary. There's plenty of new stuff coming out this month. It's very niche. All of it is very niche, so it may not apply to you. Allow me to jump into our main article here after I bring the font up to 200% because I'm going blind. All right, here we go. So first up, Dimension of the Damned. And more information on that to follow after this, but Dimension of the Damned is coming into the game this month. The first update to talk about is a brand new, completely free game mode called Dimension of the Damned. Combat, crafting, and cooperation are the focus in this exciting 2-week zombie fest, where you control a fully maxed version of your normal account to fend off the flesh-eating horde. Starting on the 16th of October, the gameplay is focused around Falador and the rest of the free-to-play world, surrounded by legions of the dead, plaguing your every step as you venture forth from the zones to gather raw materials and build up your equipment. Protect your group by constructing barricades or use them to upset the competition in the area. Each player can earn points by killing a wide variety of zombie types, including 10-player boss encounters, which can be spent in Falador loot boxes. Unique equipment, power-ups, and useful materials can be found, helping you rack up more points and hopefully earn yourself an invitation to the unique endgame. The grand finale will take place on the 28th of October. Each invited player starts fresh with 0 points, but this time, death is permanent. Over the course of 2 hours, the world slowly shrinks in size with more and more monsters spawning until finally, 1 player remains. Unique prizes and glorious recognition await. Since the update is totally free and all accounts start at max level, it's a great time to buddy up with friends old and new. So while we're on the topic of this, I almost called it Dead Man mode, this custom game mode here that RuneScape 3 is trying out, I will mention we are creating a Dimension of the Damned team, and anyone is welcome. Players of all play styles are welcome to join us. We'll be going from day 1, and just to see what it's like and what happens, and see how long we can last. I have no idea. Do we
know if there's going to be members items available, or is it only free-to-play items?
I'm pretty sure
it's for both, I believe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's only the free-to-play area, but everything is unlocked from my understanding. However, what you're able to get at, I guess there's going to be certain things that are non-accessible, though, like, right? Like, you won't be able to go fight the Cal fight, you know, king and try to get some Drygore to equip yourself, because that area is not available. The only
buy a dragon longsword and dagger.
Yeah, I think you're going to be kind of limited to like what you can really make, because I mean, how hilarious would it be? You have like a team of people. It's like, all right, we're doing the Lost City quest. We're trying to get access to dragon longswords. You know, like, or is it dragon scimitars? I think it's dragon longswords. Scimitar is monkey madness, right?
Yeah. So
Yes.
first thing I would do is book it to Faldor, mine that dungeoneering area, and mine a bunch of rune.
Yeah, right. That's like number one is, in my opinion, is just getting rune ore. Like you're 99 and everything. My main mission. I've already had a wilderness survival series back, you know, back in the day.
There are black dragons in the wilderness, right?
There are black dragons in the wilderness. Yes.
Are there any spots?
There's a king black dragon in the wilderness too.
Do you know?
What? Do I know what?
If you could say spot black dragon somewhere in the wilderness, you could get black dragon hide armor.
That's true. You could. I don't know if you can safe spot them.
That's a bit higher than rune, isn't it?
I have no idea. It's a completely different play style as well. Like, you're talking combat. You're talking combat to the wrong person. So, I mean, that's the thing. Is like this is heavily PVE based, meaning, you know, lots of I should say PVM specifically. I mean, it's technically you're fighting against the environment, but you know, they talk specifically about these boss monsters and whatnot. And that's not my strong suit. So I'm going to be looking for people who are good at fighting, who can help defend me while I'm sitting there grinding. You know, getting skills, getting items, making things. That's going to be my job, and it's hopefully going to be a handful of people's jobs. But we're going to need to fill roles like that. We're going to need bodyguards, and we're going to need skillers. You know.
Don't forget the Chaos Druids. You can get a bunch of herbs from them.
Yeah, that's very true. Jagex is biased towards people with friends. I mean, this is streamer bait, right? This entire event is stream bait, like for sure.
Bait.
I put all my stars into combat as it sucks the joy out of my life. That's fair. It's totally fair. Plotist, this 2-week event is mining and smithing rework, where players have to make their own weapons. After that, it closes, so PVMers don't whine. This is just a taste. This is just to remind everyone that that we truly actually hate making all our own things. So once we realize that, then we'll no longer want skill reworks anymore. You're right. That's Jagex's hidden twist psychology plan here. So anyway, if you're interested in joining our conglomerate, you are more than welcome to, because you can be anyone. You can do anything you want on our team. There will be roles that we will want to fill, but we're not going to restrict your playstyle by any means. So if you want to be a skiller, you can be a skiller. You want to be PVM, you can be PVM. You want to fill some other unique role, whether it's maybe questing or something like that to unlock certain types of items, you can do that too. If you are interested, please join our Discord, discord.runeweek.com. That is... What's up?
I just realized there's no curses.
What do you mean? Oh, yeah. Unless you do all the... Oh, yeah, you can't do those quests.
No, you can't.
So, yeah, basic prayers. So there's going to be a lot of interesting handicaps, that unless they're going to just unlock all quests, you know, without having to do them. I have no idea. They say a maxed version of yourself. They don't say a comped version of yourself. So, you know, I assume that there's going to be limitations on those types of things. But we can't say for sure until it actually happens. And the mystery is actually what's alluring to me here. Like, the fact that there's going to be a little bit of wonderment here. We don't know exactly how this is going to go down is exciting. You know, it could be a total flop, but hey, we should give it a try.
And it all takes place on RuneScape's beta servers too.
Yes, which disappoints me slightly, because now I have to make a decision between using my main character for this or using an alt character for this, so I can play both at the same time. Not 100% sure what I want to do in that scenario. I might just use my Iron Man account, but I also want name recognition for streaming, and then it won't be Magebit anymore, so I'll probably just use my main account, and you have to put off my goals, basically, for this little event.
Use your main account, then AFK on your Iron Man.
I don't give a shit about my Iron Man, though. That's the problem. Anyway, so that's coming to the game, and I'm excited for it. So again, join our Discord. If you're having trouble joining our Discord, feel free to pop into clan chat. or anything like that and ask for help on how to do it, you can even email me, show@runeweek.com, if you're having trouble with the custom Discord link, the discord.runeweek.com link. I can get you another clickable link for you. If that's, if you're having trouble, don't be shy. It's all right. I understand that sometimes Discord can be a butt, so I'm fully willing to provide, technical support for anyone who's having trouble getting into our Discord. Once you're in,
I wonder if we're going to be able to smuggle some of the stuff out of the Dimension of the Damned, even though it's on a beta server.
Damned. Well,
knowing Jagex, you might be able to.
No. Well,
you remember you used to be able to smuggle the Primal outfit from Dungeoneering when it first came out.
Yeah, I also remember they had to roll back the game when Dungeoneering first came out.
Yeah, especially because people were abusing the runecrafting when that came out.
Now I'm just abusing runecrafting the old-fashioned way by making that money. Anyway.
Yeah, boy. You doing nature runes or blood runes?
Yeah, nature runes because they're more money, I think.
Yep. I think they're more money at level 92.
Yeah, don't worry, I'm like 102. But I'm stoked on the money. Like I've managed to push, like I've become almost like machine-like to some degree for like the first 30 minutes before my body can't handle it anymore, and I can push like 6 million an hour. Just kind of like basically perfect ticks, hitting things on perfect ticks. So like teleports are perfect, no extra animation stuff, surges are perfect, stuff like that. But after about 30 minutes, I started to get sloppy. That level of intensity, I'm just not built for it.
Have you got the Wicked outfit?
Oh yeah, I have the full Wicked outfit. I have the full the hell do you call that other stupid thing? The urethral outfit, I think, as you so lovingly called it at one point in time. They have the infinity version of that, an infinity ethereal, which actually is significantly helpful because it allows you to pretty much make like 24 extra runes each run.
Yeah, you get to store. You're using the right familiar, right?
Yeah, using Abyssal Titan. It's frustrating.
What about the Spirit Garrick? Doesn't that take you to the hunter area there?
If you don't give a shit about the 300% bonus XP from going through the Abyss, yeah, you can do that.
Right.
But it's way more XP to do it through the Abyss. I have been killed once, and there's one attempted murder on my life. I made it. I've gotten a little wiser. I anticipate every time I go to the Abyss now, and somebody attacked me yesterday, and I was anticipated, and I was able to turn around and just walk out of the wilderness. Like they were hitting me. I made it out with like 800 HP, but they didn't stun me, so I managed to make it out alive, and that was nice because it's not a huge penalty for dying. It's just annoying. That's all. It's just like, now my whole mojo's disrupted. I have to go reclaim some things. Whatever. Not the end of the world, but still lame. Because I gotta talk to Rolomia and be like, can I have my all the rewards back that I just died with? Anyway, continuing on for the month of October, we have a big upgrade to free-to-play, the largest update like ever, I think, to free-to-play. So free-to-play players are really getting it good this month with a batch of previously members-only content becoming available to all. This is the biggest bundle of newly free-to-play content to date, including 7 quests, the Fletching skill, 2 D&Ds, the Warriors Guild, craftable offhands, crossbows, more places to explore, and magical and ranged armor. There really has never been a better time to pop into the game and give RuneScape a go, so if you got any friends, I don't, sorry Jagex, sitting on the fence, be sure to bring them in. But for sure, like, that is huge. They're getting a new skill, new to them. 7 quests, that's pretty cool. Like, there's gonna actually, I assume that's gonna spike free-to-play playership for at least a couple of months with all that content.
I think the free-to-play content includes the Deep Wildy and the Chaos Elemental.
I believe you're right, yeah. That's pretty cool as well. So tons of stuff for free-to-play players coming this month. Now the real update, what everyone should be looking forward to right here, is the Halloween ghost stories. Sticking strongly with supernatural spookery, the Halloween update this year focuses on storytelling. You'll uncover sad tales from tormented ghosts around the world and solve some putrid puzzles to help put them to rest.
You're going to love that, mage.
I am going to stream the shit out of that. It will not be a skill and chill. It will be a skill and rage. Half of the stories from the mini-quest have been directly from fantastic player submissions. The other half, written by some of RuneScape's talented J-mods. Available in part to free-to-players as well as members, rewards include a new Halloween emote, title, and a great cosmetic outfit that allows you to become a headless rider. So that's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that, actually. I'm glad to see that the Halloween event is in traditional fashion this year. Because don't you worry, coming up next here, we got Tumblr Fest. Did your seasonal event not feel microtransaction enough to you? Did you not have the opportunity to spend a bunch of cash on that seasonal? Well, don't you worry, Tumblr Fest is here to empty your wallet for you. If you're looking for something less gruesome, you can check out Tumblr Fest. The only thing gruesome about this is the shameless cash grab. Ting! It's the first outing of Gielinor's thirst-quenching beer festival, a massive beach-style event with plenty of great activities to tuck you in as to take a break from the weighty duties of being the world guardian. Try out the new seasonal minigame Kegger, practice table dancing, and ride the giant carousel, or join in on the latest epic bar crawl across the world. Plenty of rewards await, including barrel pets, wolpen tingers, thigh-slapping outfits, new dance emotes, and healthy chunks of XP too.
I believe there's unlimited tokens for this November Fest.
Yes, you can. There's no time gates in this one, so you can play it to your heart's content, supposedly. I'd be curious.
I wonder, will we have the happy hour like we did with the beach?
Good question. They said that they were trying to eliminate a lot of the things that we didn't like from the beach, but I think that's one of the things everyone did like from the beach, are the happy hours. So I'd be hopeful. It is the live events team doing this, so it would be nice if they did an actual live event, like held a live event during it, like that. That would be kind of cool. Talented J-mods. Look at 2017's content. Who? Well, now. So I would say Menafos took some talented work. It's soulless.
And it also took some talent away from Jagex and over to Lightseeker.
I mean, ironically, it's soulless considering it contains the soul altar, but, what can you do? CS Week also going on at the moment, if you haven't noticed already. I've been releasing a couple new Worst Scammers and Hackers videos in spirit for Customer Service Week. You can check those out over on our YouTube channel.
What are they giving you in RuneScape 3 for Customer Service Week?
So October also sees the return account check to the Bright Lights of Lumbridge, fully motivated to teach you more about the benefits of account security. You earn free keys every day simply by using the multitude of options we have to help you keep your account safe. Free security-inspired clue scrolls are also available every day directly from the account, as well as XP lamps and even some competitions. Look out for more information. So they have the drop going on where you can earn a new title, as well as I think an XP lamp as well.
I haven't done the drop since they put this one in this week. I should go do it one day.
I haven't done it either. I don't have that.
But I've been doing a lot of the bloody clue scrolls. I've been live streaming the customer support week clue scrolls. They're a lot of fun to do.
Live streaming is my job. Yes, live streaming.
Live streaming.
Yeah. Yeah, that's you've been knocking those clue scrolls out. Go ahead, Sud.
In old school for Customer Service Week, they're giving you a permanent 16 bank slots.
Yes, I heard about that. Yeah.
Meanwhile, over in RuneScape 3, that costs $20 a pop. Yeah, we're getting keys over here. Which, I mean, if you think about it, two bonus keys a day for how long is this going on for? 1 week? 2 weeks? I forget. Probably 1 week, right? So that's 14 keys. 14 keys is that's one bond. So that's a what, a $6 value. Anyway, in other news, I'd like to tell you about a new charity event that's happening in October. Similar to the Gielinor Giving event back in May, you'll have the chance to gain some in-game charity tokens through normal gameplay, earning yourself some unique armor. You can also spend rune coins on a brand new cape or items from the May event if you missed out the first time. All the previous rune coin purchases on those special items will go directly to our chosen charities, Mind, YMCA, and the Princess Trust, whom many of you will have met at our Rune Fest this year.
All the proceeds from purchases.
Everything gained here. I'm going to skip over the rest of this as it's not really pertinent to the actual in-game updates. But yeah, so there's an ongoing event right now where just skilling in the game, or anything really, anything that provides XP rather, is going to earn you new currency. You need 10,000 to unlock all the stuff available, or if you just want that sweet XP, you can do that as well. It seems as though it was something along the lines of like I saw like 24 loot boxes somebody opened, and it was a lot of XP and money, like over 1 million bonus XP, I'm pretty sure, and tons of gold and other items as well. So you may not be as lucky, but those boxes are pretty good. I believe it makes the most economical sense to open the small boxes, if I remember correctly. So if you're just cashing out, I think the small boxes are the ones you want still. And that's pretty much what we got going on this month. It's a lot of live event stuff, stuff that's going to kind of come into the game and leave, except for the free-to-play update, which probably doesn't appeal to too many people that are listening to the show. But if you are a free-to-play person, then you are probably very excited for the upcoming boom in content.
Yeah, they had a pleasure overload when that was announced.
Heck yeah, I would.
Did you two get the Twitch bet?
I don't know. My account is 110% linked, and I had the live stream open, but I was streaming while they were streaming, so I couldn't watch it, but I had it playing, so I should have received it, but I haven't actually looked to see if I received that. I probably should. What type of pet is it?
Twitching orb.
Yeah, but what is it? Like, is it a boss? Not a boss pet, a follower pet, companion pet, legendary pet?
I assume it's the one that does nothing.
Twitching orb. There it is. Yeah, it's a companion pet. Yes, the ones that do nothing for you. You're right. Not even override. But yeah, I got it. Cool. So there it is. They put a texture, an animated texture, on a 3D primitive. Congratulations. Added some transparency. Good work. Not hard.
The sarcasm meter just went off the chart, folks.
I mean, hey, it's free, and I'll tell you what. Like, they had like 4,000 people watching that stream. RuneScape 3 streams never get like $4 grand. So that says something about free stuff. People like free stuff.
Free stuff is free stuff.
Free stuff is free stuff, even if it's crappy. It's like even crappy stuff becomes better once it's free. So again, I'm not going to bother reading this customer support document because I covered everything in it already. There's, we got the clue scrolls, Dxthelb is doing a lot of those. I'll be doing them on Sunday, all the backlogged ones that I missed, as well as giving away 30 days of RuneScape membership courtesy of ANS Digital Trading. So we'll be giving that away on Sunday for our longer stream. And of course, if you're watching right now, we have another active giveaway for this stream, Outlast and the Whistleblower DLC. So if you haven't had a chance to enter into that, the giveaway is going on all stream. So make sure you enable the Streamlabs plugin and enter into that if you are interested in getting a free... Who's not interested in getting a free game? Like, it's free. Unless you already own it, then that would just be selfish of you, Flare Fox. Anyway, moving along. Let's see here. We have another wonderful article here that I need to bring up to 200% magnification so I can read it. This is coming from magicandmusings.com. Appears to be a blog. Seeing if there's an article author here. I don't see one listed anywhere. So, good fight, I guess.
It's by their first name is Megan.
Okay, that's good enough for me. So here we go. This is again an interview by Krista. They're interviewing Krista and Emma of Jagex on game design and development, epic storylines, and coding music. What game this is? Okay, we're giving away Outlast and the Whistleblower DLC to go along with that. And the code it's good until tomorrow. So we gotta get that code out the door. Somebody needs to claim it before it is literally unclaimable. So let's hopefully give that away. Anyway, moving into this article here. It starts off saying, part of me can't actually believe this is happening, but here it goes. Today I'm sharing an interview with two female developers from Jagex, the game makers behind such wonders as, wait for it, RuneScape and old school RuneScape. Yeah. And I was like, I thought it's like you're going to list any games that are not RuneScape at this point. RuneScape was one of the games that made me who I am today, as I skipped back home from school and immediately logged on to, chop down some trees, make some fires, and generally make no progress. Now the old school version is out, I can revisit that nostalgic world and actually get some stuff done. When I'm not on the glossy, expansive regular RuneScape, that is. Emma and Krista chat to me about their gaming histories, how they got into the development work, and how they stay productive. It's been an absolute pleasure learning about the game development entails, especially in the context of games that are so close to my heart. Thank you both for getting involved. Magic and Musings. Thank you for taking the time to answer some of my questions. First of all, for any readers who don't know your background, will you tell me a little bit about yourself and where you are today? Emma responds and says, "My name is Emma, and I'm at the ripe old age of 24. That's basically middle-aged, right? It is if you're in the tech industry. I mean, everyone's dead by 50 in this industry. I've only had one job in the games industry, which I got straight out of university. I am currently a technical developer at Jagex. For those of you that don't know what a technical developer does, we work mostly on maintainability of code, efficiency, and although we also create content for the game, we tend to be given the more technically complex projects to work on."
Like unspaghettiing RuneScape.
It sounds like it, yeah. Krista replies and says, "I'm Krista Golby, and I have been a content developer at Jagex for 6 years, working on different games. I'm currently working on RuneScape in the live events team and split my time between designing, programming, and being a scrum master." Magic and Musings replies and says, "When did you first get into the games design and development? Did you study it formally or come across it as a hobby? If you did study it formally, would you say this was a good or bad experience regarding allowing your creativity to flourish?" Emma replies and says, "I first gained an interest in game design when I was about 17 years old and was looking to apply for university. At the time, I was interested in becoming a psychologist, but I'd recently got my hands on a PS2 and the game Kingdom Hearts. It was right then that I fell in love with games and the stories that they tell, and decided that it was what I wanted to do. I wanted to make stories just like this." What's funny? Kingdom Hearts?
Kingdom Hearts and story.
Yeah. Kingdom Hearts is a freaking mess of a game as far as the lore goes. After that, I applied to computer science courses at universities. This was where I first got introduced to programming and got my hands on some modeling software. For the most part, my course wasn't designed to be overly creative and lacked somewhat in game production, but you were encouraged to express creativity within the university's programming society, and there was never anything stopping you from doing something in your spare time." Krista responds and says, "I did a degree in interactive systems and video games design at Bradford University. Well, this was a good thing to have on my CV, and a great foot in the door. It was more the contacts I made while I was there that helped me through my career rather than what I learned. There were many modules where I had to teach myself the coding required, and I found this quite fun." Magics and Musings replies and says, "Would you call yourself much of a gamer, or is this a field you stumbled across on your journey?" Emma says, "I would definitely call myself a gamer, although somewhat of a late bloomer. I used to watch my brother playing Doom and the early Tomb Raiders on the PlayStation and later on Max Payne and Half-Life on the PC, but I never really played them myself until my late teens. Nowadays..."
I miss the early days of Doom, don't you?
Oh, heck yeah.
The PC.
I have those are some of the first games I ever played, actually, especially on the PC. I remember Doom 2, I think, was it Doom 2 and Doom 3D? I can't remember. It's Duke Nukem 3D, Doom 2.
Oh,
there we go.
I love Duke Nukem 3D. I loved that one.
Those were my two first games. Doom 2 scared the living shit out of me. Couldn't play without my father. Duke Nukem, for whatever reason, didn't scare me as much. Probably because of the pixel boobies, but whatever. Moving along. Nowadays, as is the way, I don't have much time to play games, as I would like to have so many unfinished or even unopened games on my shelf. Pretty standard. But I will muddle through. Krista responds and says, "I'm not a typical gamer. I'm not into the latest AAA titles. I prefer games that make me think or make me laugh. I'm also an avid mobile gamer." That's where you get all your ideas for all these wonderful microtransactions. Now it all makes sense. "Having spent a large amount of time on King's games, and I'm not ashamed of it at all. I look at games in a different way than a lot of people that work with being more slow and a steady type of player, and I think this helps with team designing as we look at things from several different angles." Magic and Musings responds and says, on Magics and Musings, I love talking about female identifying and non-binary artists and their work. Which female artists, designers, and devs, if any, would you say have been influences on your work? Emma responds and says, I would like to sound professional and say people like Kim Swift or Jennifer Hale, both amazing women, don't get me wrong, but I'm going to be a bit of a butt-kisser and say the women that I work with. Coming into the industry so young, it was really inspiring to see other women alongside me doing amazing work and not letting anything stand in their way. They are strong women and keep me heading forward. Krista responds and says, Roberta Williams, co-founder of Sierra Online, paved the way for a lot of games that I grew up loving. She was a leading figure in creating games that coupled the traditional text-only style with graphics, and I greatly respect her work.
AKA Leisure Suit Larry. Oh, what a legendary game that was from Sierra Online.
Sierra made some pretty epic games back in the day. Plenty of text adventure games that were quite interesting. I loved the Space Quest and King's Quest series, and my chair. I cannot wait to get rid of this chair. The friggin' the friggin' thing that this happens all the time, and I'm just making a big deal about it because it doesn't happen on the air very often. But the thing that holds the thing in place, so when you lean back, it doesn't lean all the way back, just pops out at random and just off I go, just flying backwards. Sorry about that. Where was I? Yes. Magic and Musings reply and says, are there any games in particular you take inspiration from or feel inspired by? Emma says, I get most immersed in the games that have epic storylines and characters that you can really fall in love with. Games from the Final Fantasy series are always good for a bit of inspiration, as well as some of the lesser-known titles such as Transistor or Heavy Rain. Anything that really makes me feel always leaves me inspired and eager to pass the experience on to others. Krista responds and says, I'm old school. I grew up with point-and-click games as well as games from Bullfrog, like Theme Hospital, Dungeon Keeper, Theme Park, and these are the things that fit my humor the best. I like to inject a bit of this old-school, irreverent humor into my content where I can. Magics and Musings replies and says, of all your work, what are you happiest with and why? Emma replies and says, it's very difficult to choose something in particular. Working on live events team at Jagex generally means 95% of your content is temporary and despised. No, I'm just kidding. Despite this, though, the most standout piece, of course, is that I have done would be the loot interface. That's pretty cool. It was basically some functionality that when you choose to take some items from the floor, it opens an interface that allows you to loot everything or selected items. On its own, this doesn't sound like much, but before this, the only way of picking things up was to click each item individually. I essentially overhauled one of the central aspects of a now 16-year-old game. And it went live with very few bugs, which is always amazing with a project that touched as much as this one. That's pretty cool. There you go. It's not. I rag on these developers for being on the live team, but for real, they are talented developers no matter what team you stick them on. Krista,
I know.
Yes.
I was gonna say I know the looting interface didn't have any dupe bugs.
Yeah, so that's pretty good.
There's an outlining bug still in the loot system.
Which one?
If you use the loot system, you click away from loot while you've got the loot system open.
Mm-hmm.
If you can click on that and drag the loot system interface across the screen, when you're out of range, it'll leave two outlines on the screen.
Ew. That sounds... What if that's an NXT problem, or if that's the loot system's problem? Interesting.
I think it's the loot system problem because I believe it might be in the Java thing as well.
It's probably to do with like range checks and things like, and it getting confused.
Fair enough. Krista responding to the same question, saying, the things that engage players. Despite making a lot of content for the game that is temporary, I like to add a lot of humor in what I do. And when players pick up on it and I see Reddit posts with them chuckling at the content I have made, it makes me happy. Next question from Magic and Musings. This is a question I like to ask purely because of the variety of answers I get. I'm really interested in how people work and get things done. Do you have any particular place you find work? Do you have any particular place you work or find yourself most productive? Are there a particular set of things that need to be in place for things to get done? like a milky cup of tea or a particular album of music you listen to? Emma responds and says, to be honest, I tend to work best under pressure or when I have a lot to do. I wish I had that problem. I don't like being in a position where I'm not sure what I'm working on next. Other than that, headphones on with random rock music tends to do the trick. Krista responds and says, when I get into the flow, I like to have headphones on listening to whatever I consider coding music. This is normally Slipknot or Skrillex, something energetic. You'll quite often see me bouncing up and down to the music as I work.
That's really strong. I wouldn't have picked Krista to be listening to Slipknot.
Yeah, I know. That's interesting. Eminem replies,
Skrillex maybe, but
yeah, Skrillex. Anyone can get down to that type of music. I feel like electronic. Slipknot being as guttural as they are, surprised. Like I love Slipknot, but like the older I get, the less I can handle them. Anyway, next question. Eminem says, what do you do if you find yourself stuck in a rut creatively? Emma says, I mostly turn to those that I work with. I'm lucky enough to work with people that I have the same thought process as me and are willing to help you out with getting the juices flowing. A quick brainstorm or a couple ideas batted around is normally enough to get me back on track. Krista responds and says, think about something else. The great thing is we always have several things we are working on. If I need some inspiration straight away, however, I'll book in a brainstorm with other members of my team, which helps get the creativity going again. Next question, have you ever explored working in another medium? Emma says, there was a time when I wanted to be a 3D modeler. I loved the fact that you could instantly see the fruit of your labor. But in the end, I decided I much preferred logic puzzles that being a programmer poses to you. Krista says, when I first started my degree, I was on the graphics version of the course, focusing on Maya and character modeling. I quickly learned that this was not where my skills or passion lied. I'm definitely a coder who enjoys design.
Especially when Maya's worth about $1,000 or something just to get the software.
I hope if you're going to school, they are providing you an educational copy. I've used Maya before. It's not easy to use, but then again, I used it like a decade ago, so hopefully it's gotten easier. And then again, I also just don't have that level of... I also find that my skill set lies more in creative design than graphical design, so I feel both of these for sure. My throat is already killing me. Let's see, next question. What does success look or feel like to you? Emma responds and says, success is the responses and feedback that we get from our players. I think we are a little different in that we are one of the only game companies that allow all their staff to be completely player-facing if they wish so. So having Twitter and Reddit accounts that players know about mean that we get feedback from our work straight away. There is nothing better than seeing players enjoying what you have put so much work into. Krista responds and says, when the players are as enthusiastic about my new content as I am, I get quite animated when I get to talk about my work on live streams, and I have this mirrored by the players. It's a great pleasure. Next question. What one thing do you wish someone told you when you were first starting out working in this field? Emma says, I wish that someone had taught me how to keep a healthy work-life balance. Working in a field where there is so much passion and people genuinely enjoy what they're doing, it's easy to find yourself suddenly working late and even over the weekends. Even when you are enjoying every second of it, it's still easy to get burnt out if you're not careful. Krista says, it's fine to take pride in your work. There will always be people for whom it's not their cup of tea, but don't let a vocal minority take away the joy of creating. And next question, on to a fun question. Can you recommend everyone reading a book you've enjoyed recently, as well as a film and an album song? Emma says, the book that I'm currently reading is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. It's an incredible epic story that I'm enjoying getting lost in for a few hours here and there. For an album, I definitely recommend Hailstorm's Into the Wildlife. There isn't much better than a powerful female lead in a rock band. They are far and few between. Krista says, I recently reread The Night Circus, a gorgeous book with an intriguing plot. Most wise, it would be amiss of me not to suggest trying whilst listening to Slipknot or Skrillex. Next question. Is there anything else you would like to say before we finish? How can we find people? How can people find out more about you and your work? Emma says, don't ever stop trying. The perfect chance for you will turn up as long as you keep looking. The best place to keep up to date with what I'm doing is through my professional Twitter account at JagXMohawk. And Krista says, I'm a semi-regular on our live stream videos that we do every week to showcase the work that we're doing. This is the best way to get a feel for the things we do. So there you go. An interview from Mod Krista and Mod Mohawk.
Okay.
Yes. I didn't know that either. So, yes. There you go. Good interview. Good interview.
Yeah. It was pretty interesting.
So, again, I'll just quickly mention, if you haven't had a chance to enter into our Outlast and Whistleblower DLC for said Outlast, you can do that by enabling the Streamlabs widget, clicking on the little Streamlabs icon that will then be on the stream, and entering the giveaway. And one lucky winner will receive those codes. And we'll be doing another giveaway on Sunday for RuneScape membership, so stay tuned for that one as well. Moving along here, we got a few more topics to cover, as I'm running out of energy as well, so perfect timing, I suppose. So real quick, just so everyone is aware, there, of course, was contention in regards to recent microtransactions and the type of microtransactions that Jagex has been utilizing. They were to have a big staff meeting this week. I believe it was Tuesday and Wednesday, where it was a 2-day meeting. So we can probably expect a response by the end of next week, I would assume. But Mod Balance did leave a response in here to kind of let everyone know exactly where they stand, which honestly is really no different, but it's fair enough that they are, at the very least, keeping the lines of communication open. And he says, hey guys, I can appreciate you want an immediate response, but I came out of the 2-day management meeting last night. I'm confident that we're making progress on plans that take into account your feedback moving forward. It's clear that we adapt to what you're saying, and I was delighted to hear the whole RuneScape management group were on the same page about how we should proceed. Oh, this actually might be a little more updated than I thought it was. I may nix that whole next week thing. I thought this was just them basically saying the same thing that they said earlier, but it looks like it's a little different. So I apologize for that. That is completely my fault. But allow me to continue on here. The meetings finished last night, and whilst we have a strong idea where we want to go, we now need to put these decisions to the wider studio and formulate a plan to move forward with. We will have more information from you soon. So again, we are waiting on that. So 50%, I'll give myself 50% credit. How's that? Articulating it in the best possible way to take a bit more time, bearing in mind the offset meetings were only Wednesday and yesterday, but we're working on how we can present those ideas to you. Once we have secured agreement across studio for ideas, we will give you the full picture. Again, I don't want this to sound like I'm fobbing you off. It's interesting. I'm not familiar with that British phrasing there, but
I think it's more like cursing, I believe. It's been a long time since I brushed up on my UK slang.
Because I'm going to take a wild guess from context and say like they're lip service type deal. Like I don't want you to feel like we're just paying you lip service or something, because it really just sounds like they're jerking me off or something by like saying I don't like that phrase, but I'm not British.
To cheat or deceive.
Okay, cool. Thank you. But it's a huge topic, and we want to be able to make sure that we present to you the fullest idea of what we want to do. Now, deep inside, the conspiracy mind of me is like, they're just stalling. This is just stalling. That's all they're doing. They have no ideas. They're literally just trying to buy time for themselves. But that's an unfair, assessment to kind of unload on them, I guess, initially. But fobbing off, making excuses, empty platitudes, fair enough. So I'm going to say that we should keep pestering, keep hounding, and hopefully we will get the response that we are looking for within the next couple of weeks. I still would like to stick to like a next week deadline, but I think that might be wishful thinking. It might be a little unfair to go with next week. But
I think the main reason why everyone got so hot regarding the MTX would have been the prize pool treasure hunter one, which took place a few weeks ago. To me, it looked like it was nothing more than a glorified poker machine.
Mm-hmm.
That's how bad it was.
That was really what triggered this.
To say that.
Yeah, that's what triggered this whole thing. And I mean, it's sad that that's what it has taken, but I'm also kind of glad at the same time that it's happened, because I have been saying for many, many years that Treasure Hunter is gambling and it's addictive and dangerous. But
that was the worst case of it.
You couldn't, you couldn't even hide it. You couldn't even hide the fact that that was basically a slot machine. So I think that's really what pushed this into the spotlight. Not to mention, there have been tons of videos lately on YouTube that have been covering microtransactions, particularly loot boxes. And let's be honest, Treasure Hunter is not much different from loot boxes.
No, it's pretty much a loot box.
Yeah, it's just loot boxes with added mechanics and flashy, gimmicks. So again, loot boxes are gambling. Treasure Hunter is gambling. Gambling is addictive. Gambling is immoral to some degree, in my opinion. You may disagree with that. I find gambling to be a little immoral. I'm not saying you shouldn't be able to participate in it if you want to. I'm just saying there should be regulations and restrictions for, protecting people from ruining their lives on it. Anyway.
It was an interesting thing when I came across, when I started seeing all the MTX controversies around. I actually did do a comparison between 2016 and 2017 at those points. I don't know whether or not, I don't know if you're getting feedback or it's just me getting feedback. I'm not sure.
I'm getting feedback.
Is it from me or what?
I think so, because you were the only one lighting up at the time. But let's stand by and see if it happens again. Yeah. Continue. The amount of MTX that took place between 2016 and 2017, I'm just going to bring it up. Just do it all amongst yourselves for a second. While you're looking for that information, I will preface it with saying that I would wholeheartedly accept more microtransactions, more promos that were Solomon's General Store style, like Runecoin style based, where currency gated, or I call that currency abstraction. Basically, I'm sure there's a better technical term for it, but I would rather see like this currency abstraction or disassociation where, it's still kind of a shitty psychological technique to kind of get people to not realize how much money they're spending, but on the flip side, you can quantify and calculate that a lot easier than you can quantify and calculate the odds of trying to gamble for an item. So, like, I'd rather see 25 freaking Solomon's General Store purchasable items a year than 10 gambling-based microtransactions. That's a personal opinion, but I'd love to hear other people. Go ahead, DX, though.
Okay, I just take into consideration, right? They started doing the Tuesday. What is it? Tuesday. What was it? What do they call it?
Second Chance Tuesdays.
Second Chance Tuesday. Yes, that's it. They introduced the Second Chance Tuesday on the 26th of July last year. So you really couldn't comparison between July and July 2016 and 2017 because it wouldn't be equal. But I was able to compare August 2016 to August 2017. Now, 4, 6. There was 12 MTX that took place in August 2016. There was only 10 MTX in August 2017 . So the numbers actually went down on that one.
Too bad
I believe
I would be happy about that if the promotions didn't get worse. That's my problem.
Yeah.
Is like, how many times have we seen smoldering and hydro lamps in the past 2 months? Like 4, 5?
A lot.
To be honest, I'm actually glad that it's the same, not just some random ass new shit. So I think it's been like about 5 or 6 bloody hydro lamps or lava lands or something like that. I don't have the calendar with me, but
yeah, those types of, the reason why we're seeing, I think, less promos and more of those promos is because those are the promos that sell. Unfortunately, those are the promos that devalue skilling, ruin like high score competition. Which is, again, that's a personal opinion. Not everyone agrees with that. I get that. But I'm a very old school MMO player, and I value the XP grind, and it makes me kind of sad to see these just constant XP grabs. especially when they're for when they're for purchase. Like, I would rather see a flat rate that goes on sale occasionally in the Solomon's General Store to buy XP, which still sucks, but at the very least, you know what you're buying. You're not gambling for it. You're not wasting your money beyond the fact that you're wasting your money on a virtual freaking game. But
how about a 1 hour plus 30%
exactly
XP boost?
That's what I'm talking about. Like those types of...
Tons of other games sell that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they do. I'm pretty sure in a lot of Blizzard games, not all of them, but a decent amount of like Heroes of the Storm, I think, does that.
Almost every MOBA does it.
Almost every MOBA does that, yep. PlanetSide 2 does that. Squad boosts, stuff like that, where, like, you can buy things. Clan boosts would be amazing. Could you imagine that? If there was an item you could purchase in the store for a few hundred rune coins that gave it, it basically gave a boost to the entire clan for, a period of time. I think that would be a pretty popular item.
There is a Citadel booster, but that's only for an individual person.
Yeah, I would love to see things that that gave a sense of community added and stuff like that. Things that you want to use. I would love to see portables taken off Treasure Hunter and put in Solomon's, put portable packs in there. I don't want to see random portable packs unless you can choose which portable pack it turns into. But like the term microtransaction, I'll say it again, should be a micro amount of money. If I want to purchase a portable pack for 10 rune coins, I should be able to do that. I shouldn't have to go, spend hundreds on keys to try and get the portable packs that I want, or on a specific promo. I gotta, spend a bunch of money to try and get the portable pack. Like, just put the items in the store, have an item mall, let people buy them.
Do you remember, it was a couple of years ago, when Mark Gerhard, former CEO of Jagex, couldn't bring himself to actually call it a microtransaction, but he'd rather call it a micropayment?
What's the difference?
Well, yeah, exactly. Because they try to be clever with their words.
Yeah, they do.
Well, know it's a microtransaction, but they can't bring themselves to say the bleeding obvious. So they try to weasel their words away, but even though it's the same thing.
I've run out of magic logs.
How about...
Damn it.
Every item that you can get from Treasure Hunter, you can straight out buy, but you can also get from Treasure Hunter as a way of trying to get it for less.
That would be better than nothing.
Because they're not going to get rid of Treasure Hunter, because that makes them a lot more money.
No, they're not going to get rid of that. They're not getting rid of it.
Yeah. I mean, that would be a compromise that I would be willing to accept. For now, I'm still going to say that doesn't fix the problem at all. It's a band-aid. It's a band-aid that I'm willing to accept, but it wouldn't cause me to lay down my sword on this argument, if that makes sense. Like, I would still be holding up the fact that Treasure Hunter is gambling and Treasure Hunter is hurting the it hurts the game, yes, but so would buying items. So let me retool my argument here slightly. It's harmful to players in the sense that if you have an addictive personality, that could become a real problem for you. And now, if they could also just simply add a game mode that didn't require me to create an Iron Man, where I could literally tick a box that's like, I don't want to see this ever. I don't want to ever be able to participate in this. It's like, then there's going to be constant posts about like, oh, I really want to turn it off. This promo's really good. Oh, damn. I can't act. Like, people are just going to get angry. So like, that doesn't work, right? So there's still this moral ground that I'm going to argue upon, that Treasure Hunter needs to go eventually. Like, I understand right now they're kind of addicted to it as far as their, as far as their income goes. Like, they right now, you can't just delete Treasure Hunter tomorrow or even start it next year and be like, okay, we're just going to hope for the best now. Everyone's going to buy those Solomon's outfits, right? No, that's not how you'd run a business. Or at least, that's not how you run a successful business. I get that. But over the next few years, they need to deprecate Treasure Hunter slowly but surely, just taking blows to it. Like, adding items equivalent in the Solomon store is a great first blow. They need to slowly transition themselves away from gambling-based microtransactions. And I say that because even if they don't, I feel like they're going to be forced to eventually anyway, because everyone is doing this now, that it's getting the eyes of a lot of the big industry regulators. And I think that due to that specific fact, we are going to start to see a potential market for restrictions being placed in certain regions. And if a region is large enough, they are going to either have to disable Treasure Hunter for that region, and then that's going to cause a huge contention during the play, amongst the player base. It's going to be like the whole Twitch Prime thing all over again, where basically if you don't live in the U.S. and Canada, you can't really get Twitch Prime, and or when they released that game code in that magazine that was only in the UK versus, or when you wanted the Twitch Prime pet, which is only in the US and Canada, things like that. Region locked stuff really pisses people off. So adding a new region lock to the game is going to do nothing but anger people further on the subject, I think. So in reality, I think it's best to wean off the system before the regulations come into place, so they don't find themselves in a disaster scenario, as they're like, oh shit, we don't got Treasure Hunter anymore. How the hell are we gonna like pay our bills next? I don't want to see them end up at a loss due to poor foresight, which it doesn't sound like it's going to be the issue. It sounds like they have a lot of people who are on the same page and get that. From what I read in Mod Balance's comment, at least, is what I'm trying to say, is it sounds like they said they were kind of in consensus that things need to change. We got to wait still and see what they think, or what their definition of things need to change is. So that's where I'm at as far as that's concerned. I don't think we can really go any further deeper into that without any more information from Jagex, without just rehashing the same arguments over and over again, which I feel like we've been doing for the past 2 months, probably 2 years. It comes up pretty often. And I think we've held pretty strong on our opinions. Even as an old school RuneScape player, RuneScape 3 microtransactions are still important to old school RuneScape, because a lot of the dev money probably comes from microtransactions.
The majority of Jagex's money comes from RS3 microtransactions. So everything they do is basically paid for by Treasure.
Like, that, my main issue, again, like, if this game was completely free to play, which I don't argue for, I would have a lot less problems with their microtransactions than I do. But they're double dipping, and on top of that, they're using, immoral forms of double dipping that I'm just really not okay with. And I hope to see that they actually make some real change here. We've given them plenty of ideas. However, the problem, there's always going to be the problem as, like, selling addictive substances is always going to be more profitable than selling non-addictive substances. Like, it is just, hands down, you cannot compare them. How could you? There's a psychological addiction to one, and the other one you flat up can see what you're paying, and that's going to be a huge turnoff for a lot of people. For instance, they had that like spider outfit a while ago that was kind of cool. They wanted like $50 for it, and in comparison to other games, that's actually not that bad as far as the amount of money. Problem being, those other games are like developing like these textures in like 1080p high resolution, the polygon counts through the roof. RuneScape's using like freaking PlayStation 2 graphics, for God's sake. You can't charge $50 for an outfit that has less tries than a freaking PS3 model. Like, that's not fair either. So I mean, they have to kind of take into consideration the value of their product. On the flip side, I have totally found myself spending like $50 in Elvenar, which is a fucking pixel-based game. Yeah, the textures are high definition, but everything is pretty much, it's all digitized kind of 3D models, if you will, digitized down into 2D. So, even like, I guess money, the value of these items is not necessarily contingent upon their try count or polygon count or whatever, but I don't know. I do worry, because I know what Treasure Hunter does for the game, but at the same time, I also hate it. Like, how do you grapple with that? Grapple, yeah. Mm-hmm. Grip and grasp and grapple. That's what just came out of my mouth in one word right there. Sud, do you have any feedback? What would you do in this scenario?
In terms of Treasure Hunter and stuff?
If your business was heavily, well, all right, so you run a business, right? And you got a freaking crowd of people outside because your rewards plan is basically gambling. and you have all these protesters standing outside your store, and you're like, shit, I gotta either do something about this or just double down. What do? How would you solve this? Would you just close up shop?
I make it look like I'm doing something, so it pacifies them while still doing the same thing as always.
So you'd basically do what Jagex has been doing for the past.
That's why
5 years.
Jagex has been doing what they've been doing.
Absolutely.
Keeps making the same amount of money.
It's exactly
the only
why.
real way to do it would be to try a whole bunch of other methods of getting money from your players, because
well,
you can't get rid of Treasure Hunter until you have other methods of money making.
They would really have to try and fulfill those gaps, and I think it would take more than one alternate mechanic to fill the shoes of Treasure Hunter. I think adding everything that you're putting on Treasure Hunter to Solomon's is a good start.
You would need a whole bunch of...
I think step number 2 is add Solomon's General Store to old school RuneScape. Step number 3
They've already said that that's never going to happen.
You also
they said it was never going to happen in RuneScape 3 too.
Several other things you can subscribe to monthly from Jagex.
Yeah, adding other premium services would be great. Things like Rune Metrics only not broken would be great.
How about RuneScape Platinum membership, where you gain 100 bank spaces and all ability action bars unlocked as long as you have Platinum subscription.
I'm totally fine with tiered membership levels. I love. I liked now that the VIP package tends to be a deal. I would love to see another package that isn't a deal as far as the price goes, but has a ton of other stuff, but is $150 a year or something like that.
And but it goes away if you don't keep up the Platinum membership.
I would hope it'd be either, and you could be a monthly or a yearly, because it shouldn't be a thing that you can't subscribe to any time, because it's something they want. Yeah. And you lose access to that is not a bad idea.
A bunch of other games do that.
Yeah. I think Rift is the last game I played that did that. Or a lot of games also do where the longer you keep your premium membership, the more features you unlock as well. So
loyalty points. Black Desert.
Similar to loyalty points. Only RuneScape has bastardized their loyalty point system, where it would be nice
I meant the industry.
The industry standard of loyalty. Yeah.
Each month you have the certain tier of subscription. You get a certain number of points. Which you can actually.
I would love to see that only available for VIP and Platinum. Regular subscription doesn't build adrenaline, if you will, but the other two do. And as the longer you've been subscribed, the longer, you start to unlock additional. Maybe they're even just cosmetics. Who knows? It would be better. Maybe the first few tiers, first few months are just cosmetics. You get 5-6 months in, you start to get actual rewards. You couple, a year down the road, then you unlock 100 bank space or 200 bank space and stuff like that. As long as they just don't gate new content behind it, then I'm fine. Yeah, just don't be the new quest requires Platinum membership, or
you can only use bank placeholders if you have Platinum membership.
The entire bank rework is only available to Platinum members. Sorry.
Hey, if it was between that and having Treasure Hunter, which would you rather have?
That I'd rather have that. Yeah. Let me read Elite's comment here real quick. What really bothers me about microtransactions is that we are getting more than ever, we're getting more content than that. I can't talk. Let me start poor Elite's comment over. What really bothers me about microtransactions is that we are getting more than ever, but content this year has been lacking. I mean, I think DX's numbers kind of don't necessarily support that, but again, we'll analyze it again when the year's completely over, and again, we can only analyze it from July, I think, because
from July.
Continuing on though, it says 2017 saw a 7-minute quest and more microtransactions than ever. Again, I'm not 100% sure if that's correct or not. 2013 saw 2 3-hour-long voice-acted quests with post-quest dialogue, other content, and less microtransactions. It is greed at this point. I think it's not that it isn't greed. You're not 100% wrong. But I think that they've built this cash flow up, and now their investors expect it of them.
Yeah, they can't. They have to find another way of getting the same amount of money.
Yeah, Zhongxi is not going to be oh yes, of course, just delete Treasure Hunter and along with it 2-point-something million pounds worth of profit a year. It's not going to happen. They have, they have corporate masters to answer to, unfortunately.
So, to make up for Pern not being here, I'm going to complain about a person crashing my Slayer with a cannon.
Thank you. I'm very glad we were able to get that in there. Unfortunately, I did extend a hand out to Pern. I don't know if it actually made it to him because I didn't see him online. But we'll try to get him again on Sunday. And I don't know what his schedule is like. Sunday will be a probably more laid back stream than this one. Anyway, we can move along quickly to an old school RuneScape topic here. We finally have a resolution to those who have been following the recent cheating in the Deadman Mode tournament. It says here from RollingStone.com, cheating in RuneScape tournament wasn't an inside job. Dev will award the prize to second place finalist. So it says here, RuneScape developer Jagex confirmed to Dxthelb it would be awarding the $10,000 cash prize from the Deadman Autumn Invitational to the event's second place finalist, True Fox. It also maintains the rampant cheating occurring during the event was not helped in part by a Jagex employee, as some reports claimed. The tournament was left without a winner last week as it was discovered that finalists 5 plus 50k12 used a bot farm, seemingly acting out DDoS attacks against other players. Given that in order to perform a DDoS attack, one needs to access an IP address, many in the RuneScape community began to speculate whether this was an inside job performed in part by a Jagex employee and competition organizer, Jed Sanderson. But according to Jagex, this was impossible. Quote, "This allegation is wholeheartedly false. The individual cited in the reports helped develop the content used during the tournament final and was a technical advisor on the day. He did not have access to any back-end systems during the final," the developer told Dxthelb. I don't see what having access to back-end systems has to do with DDoSing people out of the game.
The Jagex employee that the report cited was like at the tournament and like helping make sure all the computers are working and stuff. He didn't actually have access to the people logged into the server to get their IP addresses to pass on to the person doing the DDoSes.
And how do we know that the IP addresses were not simply gathered before the tournament? From my understanding, I hate to go into conspiracy realm, but the clan that perpetrated this reign of terror collected thousands of IP addresses before this went live by hosting a 1 billion gold giveaway. I don't know. I know, again, this is speculation.
They likely had people click an outside link, which gave them their IP address.
They likely what?
They probably tricked people into clicking links outside of the game.
Probably. I mean, just visiting the Reign of Terror website would give them your IP address if you're not on a VPN.
Yeah, so that's probably what they did. That
seems like what they did. They had a huge tournament that had tons of people signed up for, and they collected a bunch of IPs, is how I think it went down. I can't confirm that, but
yeah,
that's just, I read a lot into it, and that seemed to be really fishy to me. Jester saying, how do we know that someone didn't just slip a USB into a network-connected computer? Yeah, Mr. Robot, hacker man! But for real, like, I mean, if there was any subterfuge going on, we don't know. You know, I've seen Mr. Robot, and I am a security professional.
From what I know of how they do like back-end stuff, you can only access it from the Jagex offices. Yeah,
well, they would have basically had to have a VPN tunnel onto the Jagex network, pretty much. And you would think that Jagex would have that information. They probably wouldn't release that information, though, of course. Like, that's not something you want to tell the public. But,
no.
So we can speculate all we want. We'll never know exactly what happened.
You remember a couple of years ago when one of the mods in old school RuneScape was fired? I think it might have been Mod Reach or something.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, JMods are not infallible. If I remember correctly, Mod Reach put pretty much code into the game that slipped through the auditing system that allowed people to get an unfair advantage when they did something at Corporeal Beast.
He knew of a glitch that would let you kill it super fast without any danger against yourself and didn't report it to QA for fixing.
Hmm.
And then a bunch of his friends made a whole ton of money and then sold it for real life money.
Wow. Lovely.
And then he used that to buy a brand new car, which he posted on Twitter.
There's a video of a streamer that stole a golden gnome, and he had a staff and VIP wristband. Anyway, let me continue on here. As of right now, it's still unclear how 5+50K12 was able to get a hold of the information necessary to perform the DDoS attacks on other players. Excuse me. 5+50K12's behavior resulted in his winning being disqualified, leaving Jagex for a time uncertain exactly what to do with the money. It announced today it would go today, many days ago at this point, but it announced that it would give it to the second place finalist True Fox, as well as to its charities of choosing. All in all, the company paid out $20,000 in reward money, half to True Fox, half to charity. Quote, "We do not tolerate cheating of any sort in our games, and we hope this strong response will help dissuade others in the future. Senior Product Manager of Old School RuneScape, Mod Mad K." So there you go. Money.
It's such an embarrassment that this actually took place on center stage at RuneFest.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy to think about. I thought this happened remotely. I did not know that this happened on stage.
It happened at RuneFest, apparently.
Wow.
Yeah, at the finals, people were being DDoSed.
Yeah.
There wasn't computers on stage, but
that's what I'm talking about. Is like it was live at RuneFest, but people that's the thing. Like if it was at RuneFest, they could have protected from happening. They could have protected this from happening.
It was a remote
competition. People
remote, yeah.
Yeah, that's where the fault lies. Is you can't, and unfortunately, you also can't fly 1,000 people in to have that kind of competition without going bankrupt. But
they had a couple of like big streamers playing it at RuneFest, but they didn't have it.
So that's where the real problem lies, is the fact that they were doing it over the wide area network, which is extremely vulnerable to DDoS and things like that. And like, it's just a really bad idea to have, a competitive competition that is basically run over public wires. Like, it's like,
that's why they're like all the big like DreamHack tournaments are at DreamHack.
Yeah, that's a good point. So the question is, what happens to Dead Man Tournament now after that?
I assume that this will probably make them a little more wary of the cheating scene, but I mean, people really like to watch Dead Man. I would assume Dead Man will continue on. Maybe they'll be more wary, have different rules in place. I don't know. I honestly don't know what you could do to fix this, because DDoSing is not something you can just really prevent, again, unless you're going to do it on a closed LAN. So unless they're going to turn Dead Man mode into like a 10-person competition on a closed LAN.
You could also just, if one person's enemies always disconnect as he kills them, just ban that person immediately. I
suppose that's the other option, is like, I don't know. I don't have a good answer for this type of stuff, unfortunately. When you're dealing with the wide open internet, that's I don't know. Moving along, unless anyone wants to continue talking about anything about Dead Man, I can. I got a couple more posts to go here. We got we have some drop rates, I think.
Hang on, before we do that, we're just gonna read a comment by Mod Shawnee.
Okay.
This is from Twitter. Can confirm that Monday's update will fix the issue with keepsake capes not being activated. That's from Mod Shawnee.
That's been in the game since Invention Batch 2. So, good.
There you go.
Good to know. We have one. I'm going to reorder this, actually. I'm going to say, whatever. I'll just do it as is. Shut up, Magebit. We got one Reddit post here that's kind of a complaining post we'll talk about real quick. It's called, "This game feels like a punishment to play now." I love these. This happens all the time in the fall, because they tend to run.
If Perm was online, he would have been able to drag out about 20 or so amusing posts.
Yeah. So he says, "Hey, I wanted to address a big issue that I'm having with the game lately. For me, it is no longer fun to play. It feels like I have to. It is a punishment. It feels like being a slave of Jagex. At the moment, there are 2 microtransactions events at the same time. Less dailies, they said, only so they can add more MTX dailies at the same time. It's getting out of hand. I'm going to stop right there and just say, like, this is the same thing that happens every single fall. It always happens. They always run, like, 3 events concurrently. We have the mine, you have the Gielinor giving, you got 2 other events coming up. You got the Tumblr Fest coming in. There's the drop, customer service week. There's tons of things going on. There always is, and I'm going to tell you why. People play RuneScape in the fall.
Well, there's also the fact that their fiscal year ends on the 31st of December, so they probably want to bump up numbers in the last quarter. That's
also valid, I would say. Yeah, they do. I think the numbers naturally come up in the fall as well.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's more going on. They want to run more stuff, and of course,
less people want to go outside.
Yeah. I still want to go outside, but not for much longer. My allergies are so bad. I cannot go outside without like a mild asthma attack. It's the worst. Anyway, the Menafos MTX event was the turning point. That was the worst event ever. Okay,
No, not really.
Not at all. Not by a long shot, but okay. Forcing us to stay in Menafos doing slow, non-AFK content. What the hell is this person even talking about?
Forcing us?
The soul obelisk thingies?
Maybe? Oh, maybe? How? Who's forcing you? First of all, so like you're not a slave of Jagex. It's not a punishment. They don't own you. Go play a different game. You don't have to do everything. You just don't. Anyway, let's see here. Forcing us to say MNFOs doing slow non-AFK content. I want to play this game for fun, not have you decide what to do. I do every day. If this won't stop, I won't only quit, but I think many others will too. I think you're overreacting. I saw bring back the fun in RuneScape in the 2018 survey. Don't make it feel like a punishment to play. Make us play out free will and do the things we like. You have free will. Do the things you like. You don't have to do these events if you don't want to.
And you've also got the fletching skill if you want to play for free, and you also got 7 new quests to play. So there you go.
I don't understand where this person's coming from. Unfortunately, like you don't have to take part in the content.
I know where this person's coming from. This person's coming from.
I don't understand why people can't just ignore things they don't like.
Like I understand to some degree when we're talking about in-your-face microtransactions that give in-game advantages and boosts and stuff like that. Those can really nag at you when you're struggling in the game, or you're really hating what you're trying to do for whatever achievement. I get that, but these seasonal events that offer like rewards, like that are mostly cosmetic and moderate XP boosts as well. I don't have a problem relieving those types of things. They are not crucial to my advancement in the game, like ever.
It's not like falling stars followed by lava lamp.
Exactly. That's these MTX events. Those are the MTX events you should be complaining about. Is the constant XP gains, not the fact that they're running charity week on the same week as customer service week. Like that is freaking small potatoes. And also, you don't have a mind control module jammed into the back of your head. You can freaking do whatever you want.
I know, you could come play old school.
You could. Until you don't, because you don't want to lose all your stats. Anyway.
No, but starting a new account is fun.
No, it's not. I'm just kidding. Some people enjoy it. I've tried. I don't enjoy it.
You like the fact you can start up at the old
so hungry.
Tutorial Island.
Small potatoes.
No, Tutorial Island is boring and slow.
Oh, I loved it.
Tutorial Island. That's DX's
I've
speed.
done it like 4 times, 5 times now.
Yeah.
In the last like 5 years.
So finally, here we have some drop rates.
Woohoo!
I think we went over the. I'm now remembering the fact that I did already do the AOD drop rates on a skill and chill, so I'll drop that. We will do the new drop rates that they released from Araxor, the Calphite King, Rise of the Six. Let's do those. Yeah.
Are those in the notes?
They are. It was a double link post at the end there. I'm going to skip over the Reddit one, and I'm going to only do the forum one because I just remembered I did the other one already. Oh, and thank God, just in time, because I am starting to get lightheaded. I need to eat something. Let's do this.
You may read any of this?
I think I can make it through. This is the last thing I have to read before I pass out. I think I can handle it. So
I'm the one that should be passing out.
I know, right? It's like 3 million in the morning for you, right?
Yes.
Over here, again, before I read this last post, again, let me remind you finally, for the last time, if you haven't had a chance, make sure you enter into our Streamlabs giveaway if you want a chance to win the Outlast and Whistleblower DLC. You could do so by simply enabling the Streamlabs plugin right in Twitch. Click on the little puzzle icon and enable that extension for Twitch. You'll get a little Streamlabs person that'll be on the video. You can click on that and just click enter giveaway, and you'll be entered in. If anyone's having trouble with it, speak now or forever hold your peace. Be more than happy to.
Is this a marriage?
Definitely. This is a marriage between you and free games. So get them while you can. Again, big thank you to A&S Digital Trading for hooking us up with these keys. Very nice individual. And we'll be doing another giveaway on Sunday for RuneScape membership. All right, let's give this a go here. So first up, Araxor. If you decide to fight with a friend against Araxor, that will have an impact on your chances at loot, although both players do have a chance at obtaining unique loot. Here are...
I was going to say, what's a Luke?
It's a lukewarm loot with Magebit. Here are the differences. Fighting Araxor solo, you have a 1 in 120 chance at a weapon component, such as a fang, a web, or an eye. 1 in 40 chance at a leg piece, top, middle, or bottom. Are you doing a RuneFest review thoughts on video later? I want to. I want Pernasius to be a part of it, and I keep missing connections with him. Or I want Hannah to be a part of it as well. And at this point, I'm willing to compromise and take either one of them, because both of them were not there for the thing. Like DX and I had a awesome stream where we gave our initial opinions.
Our man was on there as well.
Yeah,
so.
He was a raging alcoholic on that stream. It was pretty great. So I'm trying to get some diversity, but my two other regulars are hard to pin down right now, which is not their fault. Both of them. So yes. The answer to that, the short answer is yes. The long answer is holy crap, scheduling conflicts. What the hell? If I could just take that limitless pill, it would be great, because then I could do the show at 2 in the morning, and it would be great for everyone, because Hannah's a night owl, and now all the rest of my staff apparently are in a completely opposite time zone to me. Anyway, and Sudwood just plays old school RuneScape, so anytime I say anything cool about RuneScape 3, he just reminds me how much better it is in old school RuneScape.
Hey, I try to give my opinions.
Hey, your opinions are completely valid, and I feel like my opinion is also valid, being I want my stats. If they could just transfer my stats, I would probably go
Barn.
Farm. Listen, it's very, very tempting, and it's all I want from RuneScape 3 is a player-owned farm and farming simulation system. I'm going to create the design document. I'm going to do it. And if they don't implement what? Don't do it?
I was going to say, don't worry. I have 80 farms, so I can actually do all the new stuff, so I can tell you about it. So.
Yeah, tell me. All right, you gotta tell me how great it is. I mean, can you level up farming independently of everything else, or is farming really expensive to train?
If you're farming herb, you actually end up making a little bit of money.
Maybe because if I could become a farming pure, yeah.
You would need some magic for teleports and stuff, but other than that, yeah.
I mean, it might be a thing. Could happen. You never know.
Or you could just literally stay at the Falador herb patch and just log in every 50 minutes.
Yeah, that's also... You know what? That might be a good way to start, to build up some cash so I can afford teletabs and stuff. Do you need magic levels to use teletabs, or is that still that's a thing? Okay, cool. Hey, you never know. It's maybe a side project when if I ever get even more free time than I don't have. Let's see here. Fighting Araxor duo on the other side gives you a 1 in 200 chance at a weapon component and a 1 in 70 chance at a leg piece. So slightly lesser odds if you're doing with a friend, but still.
Because both of you get a roll, it ends up being 1 in 100 or 1 in 35 for someone to get an item.
Says here, which component or leg piece you obtain depends on a number of factors. What type of component you get can depend on what combat style of Araxxor you're fighting. You have a 1/2 chance of getting the same component style of the boss type you're fighting. For example, if you're fighting a magic style Araxxor, then you have a 50% chance to get an Araxxi's Eye if you got a component. If you fail this roll, then you have a 50-50 chance to obtain one of the other styles. Following this example, if we failed the chance to get the Araxxi's Eye from the magic style Araxxor, then you would have a 50-50 chance to get either Araxxi's Web or Araxxi's Fang. What leg piece you get depends on what path you fight Araxxor down. Fighting Araxxor down path 1 will... Yeah, who doesn't know that? Shut up. Araxxi pheromones work in a slightly different way in their drop chances, is affected by Araxxi's current stage. The higher the enrage, the greater chance of obtaining an Araxxi pheromone. Araxxor's current enrage has no impact on the common or unique drop tables, however. 1 in 50 chance is base to obtain an Araxxite pheromone at 0 enrage, and 1 in 50 minus, sorry, now it's freaking math, 1, and then out of 50, which then breaks down to current enrage divided by 20. So current enrage divided by 20 minus 50, and then 1 out of whatever that number is for you. Meaning that 300% enrage, you'll have a 1 in 35 chance at obtaining an Araxxite pheromone. The Calphite King. Calphite King has a fairly straightforward drop table, and there's nothing special to report other than the unique drop chances. 1 in 128 chance at either a Drygor Rapier, long or offhand. It's a 1 in 128 chance for basically all 3 of the weapons. How about that? Let's save myself some air here. There's a 1 in 50 chance at getting a perfect chitin for the Defender, which cannot be obtained whilst loot share is on. A 1 in 50 chance to get triple rare drop table as a bonus drop. 35 in 128 chance to get a 50 cooked sharks. Everyone wants that one, I'm sure. And finally here, Rise of the Six. You always get a malevolent energy, but you have a 50% chance to get an extra energy. In order to actually get an energy, however, you need to complete the collapsing tunnels and escape through the well, else they disappear. 1 in 80 chance to get either Malevolent, Vengeful, or Merciless shields. All of the common drops have an equal 1 in 11 chance to drop that, meaning you have a 1 in 11 chance to get up to 10 Barrows amulets, for example. We hope you enjoyed this. There you go. Next up is God Wars 2 and Nex. So that will be in our next next time they release. And that right there is our show. And I want to thank Dxthelb and Sudwood both for joining me here today. Any final thoughts? Anything anyone wants to talk about? RuneScape or otherwise related?
Yeah. One of our mates, Magebit, Janik1968, was to go under the knife today to have some sort of ear operation.
Oh.
However, his operation has been bumped back a month because apparently the machine that they were going to use is broken.
Oh no. Well, I hope he's feeling okay in the meantime.
Yeah, I'm going to try and get more information from him probably today, hopefully. And also from Jagex Support, this came through in the last 5 minutes by Jagex Support. We're extending the extra daily keys for players with an authenticator and bank pin for another week. Plus 1 key for a bank pin.
It's now a $12 value! Sorry.
Yeah, for the authenticator enabled. This extra daily keys last until Sunday, the 15th of October.
Just noted the Dimension of the Damned winner gets a Jagex trip. We have to make Mage win so we can send a Jagex there with our complaints. Yeah, I just go there. I just whip a recorder out of my pocket and I'm just like, so, how are you going to kill microtransactions? just live on the tournament. I would love to go to Jagex someday though, for real. But yeah. That's awesome. And again, thank you for bringing up Dimension of the Damned again. If you want to join our Dimension of the Damned team, you can do so by joining our Discord, where we'll be communicating. That's discord.runeweek.com. And please, once you're in there, at me or PM me and say, hey, I'm here for the dead, the Dead Man competition. Absolutely. I'm here for the Dimension of the Damned competition, and I will add you to the Dimension of the Damned roster, which will give you access to the special chat and voice channel that will go live on the launch day. So if you're interested in those things, please get in contact with me. If you're having trouble joining the Discord, you can email me, show@runeweek.com, or you can contact me in game or any other form of communication is fine. Whatever, Twitter, Facebook, anything. If you need help getting into our Discord, I can send you a clickable link via social media or something like that if you're having trouble. But yeah, we're looking for players of all walks of life. So whether you're a casual 1 hour a day player, 30 minutes a day, 10 years a day, it's all good. All are welcome. It should be a fun time. We'll be streaming on launch, just trying to figure everything out. Hope to see you there. So again, if you'd like, you can get the pre-show on our Patreon from this show today at patreon.com/RuneScape. You pledge any amount you like to get access to that and tons of bonus content that varies depending on the level at which you are pledging at. There's tons of bonus content if you've never subscribed before, going back well over a year at this point. Well over a year. We've had Patreon going for a couple of years now, ranging from full-featured shows down to pre-shows to spoken word, RuneScape audio as well. I'm working on the July RS's history book. There's a couple hours of that up. I'm going to be getting back into that soon as the weather gets worse and I have more time indoors, and we'll get back into that. So if you want to support the show, if you enjoy what we do, patreon.com/RuneScape, and please support us and help us continue on. If you don't like the idea of a monthly subscription, you want to donate to the show at a one-time, and you can, of course, trigger our alert system and everything and get your donation read. We do have a live donation system at tip.runeweek.com. You can donate there at any time, whether we're live or not, and that's a one-time donation. And again, you can include a message and all that fun stuff, so that's available for you as well. We have, of course, the time to say thank you to our top Patreon supporters, including David, Jake, Hamsterking, Kevan H, Aodyn, Sudwood, Riley B. Thank you so much for being our top Patreon supporters. It goes not only for our top Patreon supporters, of course, but everyone who supports us on Patreon. Really do appreciate that. Whether it's $1 a month or $1 million a month, like it all adds up. It pays our server bills. It allows us to advertise on social media and get RuneScape Weekly out there. It pays for our hosting of the podcast. So again, thank you so much for allowing me to not have to worry about hosting costs and stuff like that. We haven't had to worry. I don't think I've had to put in an emergency hosting bill request in at least like 8 months because Patreon has been pretty up there. And so again, if you want to help continue that, we would love to have you and enjoy all the little perks that come along the way. Anyway, we'll be back on Sunday for another stream. I'm going to quickly end this giveaway here. So again, you have like 10 seconds maybe to enter into this giveaway if you haven't. We had a pretty steady like 5 people during the entire live stream here. So your odds, since we just went over odds, are for dropping tables. Your odds are pretty good. That's 1 in 5, 1 in 6 maybe. If there's someone entered and left, who knows? Odds are pretty good. So if you don't own Outlast and the Whistleblower DLC, get them for free right now. Then that will be that. And again, we'll be back on Sunday giving away the 30 Days of RuneScape membership as well. So stay tuned here to twitch.tv/Magebit if you want to get in on the actual membership. Elite, I know you canceled your membership. Maybe you want to extend it by a month. I'll see you on Sunday,
Yeah.
Thank you, Magebit's chair. Yeah, everyone, say goodbye to the chair. Wish it farewell. It's served us well the past few years. It's been doused in WD-40 for the last time.
When's the memorial service?
I should just burn it on my back porch and record. I don't think my landlord would be happy if I set fire to a chair on my back porch, but it would be fitting. I could just.
It'd be okay if you make it a controlled burn.
Odds are 1-1 Death Star. I think I'm the only entry. Nice. All right. Well, let's give this game to Death Star if he's the only entry here. Ending giveaway now. Death Star wins. 100% drop rate as far as he's concerned. So again, thank you, Death Star, as always, for tuning in and being a loyal supporter and watcher of the show. It's a pleasure to have you in the audience, as always. As far as I'm concerned, you could win every contest that we ever do, and it'd be going to a good place. You're a good dude. So anyway, if you, again, keep the Streamlabs extension active, you'll earn Mage Bucks. There's tons of things you can spend Mage Bucks on, including make Magebit do Dungeoneering. It's an option. It's available. You can force me for only 500 Magebits. Yes, You have to clone me 500 times. Now, 500 mage bucks will get me to do Dungeoneering on the next Skill and Chill stream for at least one segment, which one segment is generally 1 hour. So there you go. That's one way to force me to get 120 Dungeoneering. Plenty of other options, including the Get Dank option. I think it's 1,000 mage bucks, and it goes up from there. And there's other stuff you can do to interact with the stream. So check it out. Again, it's all attached to the Streamlabs widget. It's a little touch and go. I'm still learning how to use it, so if you purchase something and you see me not immediately reacting to it, let me know, because I'm still trying to like figure out the full quirks of Streamlabs, but I'm loving these features. They're really cool. Anyway, it's going to wrap it up for this stream. Thank you so much for coming out. We'll be back on Sunday for another live stream. Until then, and as always, happy scaping.